You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. She's losing the supine rags. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You will know from parts passim that as part of her pursuit, her subconscious pursuit of the prime aims, fuel, control, character traits and residual benefits, that Harry's wife has regularly utilised a stable of supine publications. These online and print publications include Harper's Bazaar, Tatler, People.com, Town and Country, Daily Mirror, Cosmopolitan, Elle, Marie Claire, and of course, your favourite, Hello! Remember, the only reason that these publications are supportive of her, churning out the PR puff pieces which are both nauseating and ridiculous, is because they're paid to do so. You can well imagine that many of the writers laugh about the brief that they're given in terms of write about Harry's wife's handbag, no, not the Prince of Pink pancakes, and then tell everybody else where they can buy some. Money for old rope, comes the cry, as they sit down and bash out 750 to 1,000 words about it. There might be one or two genuine Harry's wife fans amongst those that write about her at these publications, but I suspect not. Many of them will just think, I would rather be writing about somebody else, but the PR money dictates that we must, so I shall. It's a job after all. And therefore, we get the churning out of puff pieces that bring up the past, returning to their wedding, returning to their engagement, mentioning the children yet again, always, of course, by their full names in order to pad out the words. Ensuring that Harry's wife's obsession with being a fashion icon is detailed, that you are treated to another explanations about how dazzlingly beautiful she is. You're told about a skincare regime. It might be that somebody digs up something from the TIG and regurgitates that. I have peppered my own videos with examples of this to show you the asinine nature of all of this, but also the necessity of the way that she must keep trying to assert control and draw fuel. Nary a day goes by without there being one of these PR puff pieces making its presence felt in cyberspace. Harry's wife's PR machine ensures that she keeps popping up even when she's largely not been seen for a number of weeks now. It ensures that she's still reported on in some shape or form, often utilising historic pieces. As I've explained, however, this stable, although it appears to be hugely loyal to her, is only loyal in the sense that it's being paid to be loyal. Like a cat that only comes around you because it knows it's going to get fed. You stop feeding a cat, it'll bugger off and live with the neighbours. These supine publications are only there to do the bidding of Harry's wife because they're paid to. They don't actually like her. They don't feel any loyalty to her. And what is interesting is that I have detected a shift in the way that these publications are functioning and what Harry's wife is doing. Of course, she's notorious for utilising these PR puff piece writers. However, it is the case that she's actually begun to burn a lot of the bridges towards these publications. The fact is, this is as a consequence of unpaid invoices, demonstrating her sense of entitlement, her lack of accountability in failing to pay for services that have been rendered. And this means that some of those publications are no longer pumping out the PR puff pieces with the regularity that they once did, demonstrating, of course, that their loyalty was only governed by the balance sheet. Therefore, because they will no longer allow her PR puff pieces, it's difficult for her to use some of these publications in the United States and the United Kingdom. And therefore, instead, what has been happening is that PR puff pieces are coming in from foreign language publications. For instance, there was a recent puff piece from a French entity. Furthermore, the threat of assassination piece was written by a media outlet out of Spain, see parts pessim. So, whilst the original threat, of course, came from Al-Qaeda and was reported on by a relevant news agency in that particular region, the report itself was generated by a media outlet out of Spain. This, of course, will be investigated by British and EU intelligence agencies. They will do this because it contains a threat towards Prince Harry and his family by suggesting that he is to be assassinated. And therefore, it will necessitate investigation by the relevant intelligence agencies. And what they will undoubtedly find, and I have spoken to somebody that has experience of this routine, somebody that offered to me their insights as a consequence of correspondence. The fact is that based upon my own knowledge and the discussion that I've had in correspondence with this person, the threat will be traced back to Harry's wife's PR. And the PR will point the finger to Harry's wife with evidence of written drafts of the PR puff pieces where she tells them what to write, along with paid invoices. You see, the fact is that no PR entity will want to be shackled with the legal ramification of generating an international false threat. The fact is that what Harry's wife is now doing in order to engender sympathy for the purpose of asserting control, to also control Harry by suggesting you've brought this all on our household with your stupid disclosures and your work, is for Harry's wife to issue PR instructions to foreign entities suggesting that there is an assassination threat. And those investigating that threat will find that it hasn't originated from the likes of Al-Qaeda, but it has been manufactured by Harry's wife for the purposes of ensuring that she has that control and the drawing of fuel. The fact is, this is a sudden shift and change in Harry's wife's standard of operation, and is relatively easy to catch. Pattern changes can be easy to spot. And so what we will also see, henceforth, is Harry's wife utilising more foreign media outlets to generate puff pieces, because the existing supine publications are becoming far more selective as a consequence of having stacks of unpaid invoices. Therefore, she's losing these supine rags in terms of support. She's having to turn to foreign entities who have yet to suffer from unpaid invoices as a means of generating the PR puff pieces. And, with regard to the recent terrorist threat, it's highly likely that this will have been found to have been generated by Harry's wife herself, by those investigating that threat. Naturally, they're not going to publicise that fact, but understand, as a consequence of those who have the expertise about these matters, that is what will have occurred. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.